Gabe Cook. I will now be doing the first negative rebuttal. In this speech, I'm going to talk about the overwhelming reason we don't want to go to space now, that it will destroy our economy. And that's the argument that we're going to find on the spending disadvantage. Let's go ahead and look at the arguments that Isaac made in response to the spending disadvantage. He talked about how that we have deficits in the current system. And that might be true, but my evidence takes that into account. It says that we are cutting the deficit right now and we're cutting spending. Isaac talked about the debt crisis that we had in the debt ceiling debate. What that did was it reduced government spending by $1 trillion immediately, and it's going to reduce government spending by another $2 trillion over the next decade. That means in the current system, we are reducing deficits. We are cutting spending, and NASA is a part of those cuts. Isaac's third argument, and I'm kind of grouping his first two arguments together. His third argument was that NASA is going to be key to the economy, and he didn't really get to read much of this evidence, and it didn't give us any reasons why NASA might be key to the economy. So at this point, here's what we have. The negative argued that we're cutting deficits now, that space exploration is uniquely expensive, that if we fail to cut deficits and instead go back to big spending, that's going to ruin the United States economy. And then we read impact evidence from a professor of economics who said that when the United States economy declines, we can't solve things like environmental issues. We can't solve things like diseases. We can't make life better here on Earth. So every time Isaac talks about the technology and the benefits that we're going to get from going to Mars someday, keep in mind that immediately after you pass the plan, life on Earth gets worse. Further, we find that a mission to Mars is extremely expensive. This comes from the Washington Monthly, May 1 in 2010. When he announced the plan, Bush laid one hard and fast rule. The new mission had to be accomplished within NASA's existing budget, with a modest increase to keep pace with inflation. The order suggested just how unserious the president was about the project. NASA. The space station, a modest undertaking, was projected to cost the agency as much as $96 billion over the life of the project. Honest outside estimates of a Mars journey pegged its likely cost at 5 times that. All right, so 5 times $96 billion, you're looking at $500 billion. And this evidence even references President Bush, who did the same thing that Isaac said we should do. Tell NASA with their budget to go to Mars. It didn't happen because it's not realistic. So either Isaac doesn't have the money to fund a Mars mission, or it's going to cost $500 billion and trigger the impacts of ruining the United States economy. Moreover, we find that a mission to Mars also prevents us from having the resources to deal with domestic needs like poverty and global warming, Muse in 2001. Besides that, many people think a human mission to Mars would distract pressing issues such as poverty and global warming. It will explode the deficit and it will distract us from making life better on Earth.